Hi, welcome back in next magic episode how to do yourself battery pack. I think this is now part 2 because in part 1 I showed you how to use the super cheap but super nice spot welder. In this episode I will show you just a little bit again how to do battery packs because I've got this new adapter. Thanks to this adapter we can do some huge battery packs like even 15S, 15P because over here as you can see we've got not enough space to build something bigger than 4P, but thanks to this extender it's super easy. It costs like $50 but we will back to it in a second. Jesus Christ, it's so expensive. It's like 2 huge wires and the dildo. Let's start with the most important question. What Lion's batteries do you need for your battery pack? Because as you know there is many different brands with different capacities and with different discharge power. I'm always saying that discharge power is the most important thing, because if you will use battery pack with low discharge power for something where it needs lots of power, then these batteries will heat up rapidly and they will got really short lifespan. From the other hand, some researchers saying that if you will use batteries with high discharge power but you will use it in some low discharge power electric thing, then also these batteries will got decreased lifespan, which is actually quite odd, but this is how the world is working. So in my world I'm using 3 different kinds of batteries. It depends for what I need battery pack, like high discharge power with lower capacity, multi-purpose, and high capacity with low discharge power. I prefer Samsung company, not because I'm fan, but actually I don't like this company very much, but they're doing the best batteries compared to price. And if you are looking for something like beast mode, then the Samsung's 25R will do the job. Capacity around 2500 milliamps, but discharge power in real world is between 25 to 30 amps. So these ones will be great for some powerful e-bikes, even for foot scooters like Dualtron or for some skateboards. Just imagine, if you will make 5P with these batteries, then discharge power will be between 120 to 150 amps. So yeah, quite decent, isn't it? But from the other hand, like I said, if you will don't use them on the at least 50% of discharge power, so if you will build 5P for M365 Pro, then lifespan will be shorter somehow. I have no idea why, but many people did some tests, and if you will not use more than 50% of discharge power from this battery, then the lifespan will be shorter. This is quite odd, but goddamn. My next faves are Samsung's 30Q. I call them multi-purpose beasties because the capacity is around 3000 milliamps and discharge power around 20 amps, so they will be great for some Dualtron or even for M365 Pro. If you are looking for something with high capacity, then the Samsung's 35E will do the job. Capacity around 3500 milliamps, but discharge power only 8 amps. Just imagine 5P will give you 17.5 amps of pure capacity. So this battery could be great if you would like to build something super light with huge working range. But from the other hand, discharge power is quite small and I don't recommend to use this for some Dualtron or something super power demand beast, because if you will use this battery all the time on the whole power, then it will heat up rapidly and the lifespan will be super short. Now it's time for some Lion magic, how to seriously extend lifespan of your battery pack. Actually there is one easy way, no magic in this. Don't fully charge your batteries. Charge every single one to maximally 4.05 volts. So if you will make 10S battery pack, then charge it to maximally 40.05 volts. Thanks to it, you can achieve more than 1000 charging cycles, or at least 2 times more charging cycles compared to fully charged battery. And of course, I know that you are a smart boy and you notice that I said don't fully charge them, because there is a difference between 4.05 volts and 4.2 volts, so fully charged Lion. But the difference is only 5% of the capacity, so I think it's really not worth it if you can extend lifespan of your batteries at least 2 times. And I know that it sounds easy, but you can say, boy, how to do it? And actually, if you don't have smart BMS where you can set cutoff end voltage to 4.05 volts, then you can use that kind of simple diodes on your charger. Every single diode like this will decrease voltage for about 0.7 volts. So if you will use them in series, which is of course possible, then if you will use two, then you've got 1.4 volts less at the output of the charger. Now let's speak about nickel strip. Here, as you can see, we've got almost 3 different strips. So this one you've seen in first episode. I connected batteries in one edge. It was like 5 in parallel. So this is the simplest one. And here you can see 2 different ones. These ones are much wider. Thanks to them, we can connect 2 batteries at once. This one got wideness 27 millimeters. And this one got 24, and actually this 3 mm is huge difference. Let me show you why. So the story is, if you would like to build some super powerful battery pack, I would go with nickel strip of wideness 27 mm, because you can build something like this, that kind of structure. As you can see, between batteries we've got this huge gap, and it really helps to cool down batteries. But if you would like to build some smaller battery pack, like in this case, as you can see, the gap between batteries is much smaller than 24 mm, nickel strip will do the job. This one I recommend for something like Xiaomi M365, where the electric thing is not that power demand. So this one will do the job, because battery pack will be much smaller and you know that batteries will not overheat. But for something like Dualtron or something freaking crazy electric thing, I would go with something like this, because batteries will not overheat so fast. Check this one out, bros. This is the most expensive plastic thing with 2 huge wires I ever bought. The price is like $55, so I know, Jesus Christ. But I think that this one could be worth the money, because thanks to it we can make some huge battery packs. As you can see, power cable is quite long, so this is really good sign. And here we got the standard power input, which should fit to the most spot welders. In my case, I'm still using this Sunko 737G, which I think is the best for the price. It's like 120 bucks for this beast. Is like, shut up and take my money. Still working really super nice. How to add this adapter? Just remove these 2 screws, place it like this, screw it back, and it's done. So super easy. Hopefully you will see it in a second, and just check the quality. It looks good, isn't it? On the other end, so over here you are spot welding the batteries, and here we got some extra info. Like, also this is from Sunko manufacturer. It can survive current, what? 1200 amps, so this is some good stuff, bros. And voltage from 4 to 6 volts. Nice. Let's add this adapter. So let's remove this thing. Magic is happening, because as you can see, this adapter fits. Now we can make some huge battery pack, like 100S, 100p. The movement of this pen, let's call it the pen, is quite huge. I just noticed one small con, that these 2 plates are touching each other at that spot, but this is not a big deal. We can make some huge gap and place it over there, so between some insulation tape, and it will be done. Now I have also to add this foot switch, like this, and now it's really done, because now I can squeeze this foot switch by my leg, and it will spot the batteries, or how to say it, whatever. Because usually in the spot welder you have to push batteries up, and you can hear the clicking, then it's working. But with foot switch it will be much easier. Nice. Now it's time for BMS, so battery management system. As you can imagine, this is one of the most important parts of your battery pack, because it controls whole battery pack, like every single series of cells, and it has to be the best quality. In my case, I'm using these dials, which are one of the best compared to price. This one got insane balancing system. This is the best I have seen so far, because actually every single cell is at almost the same voltage, which is really important. Also, these are waterproof, and on the top you can see this shining thing. This is aluminum, which helps to cool down the BMS. Also, these ones are beasties, because over here you can see discharge current 25 amps as a constant, but this BMS can handle even 60 amps in a peak. But if you will order 60 amps as a constant, then this BMS should survive more than 150 amps, so this is quite insane for this size. Also, in the box you will find this nice manuals. which show you how to connect the BMS, and you've got two different versions of BMS with common port and with separate port. Of course, I recommend always common port because you've got only one connector to charge and discharge batteries. So this is really good to use if you've got regenerative braking in your electric thing like in Xiaomi M365. Now is sad news, bros, because after some testing I noticed that my home power breakers cannot handle the power. As you can see, at the current I've got 41, I should have at least 70 or 80 because we've got this extra long cable, and as you can see my home power breaker is just popping out. I have to figure out something else, so I will back to stock these things and I will try to make battery pack without this cable. So if you will order this one, you have to be sure that your home power breakers are good enough to handle the power. Mine are not. God damn. Check these two beauties, bros. I just finished these two battery packs. On the left side you can see 10S 4P, on the right side is 10S 5P. I use Samsung cells 35E. Every single cell got capacity around 3500 milliamps, which is quite insane compared to size, but discharge power is only around 8 amps. Well, actually this is the price for the higher capacity for these cells. This is how it looks from the close. Check this one out. Actually, this cheap spot welder, as you can see, is doing really decent job. These dots on batteries looks really nice. And don't judge me, bros, I finished this battery packs at 1 o'clock at night, but still I think it doesn't look that bad, isn't it? Bros, now we have to be super careful and serious because this battery is already alive. It's connected, as you can see. So if you will place it somewhere on the table or whatever, be sure that between battery and flat table is no metal pills, no metal scissors or something which can make short circuit on this nickel pass, because this battery can go boom, and believe me, you don't want to see it or be close to it. So as you can see, in my case it's quite clean, no short circuit. Let's check the battery voltage. You should have, yeah, over 30 volts, so we've got 35.6 volts. Now it's time to connect BMS. This is the most important part of this video, and always check manuals before you connect any cables. Doesn't matter if this is your first battery pack or you did already like 1000, because sometimes there could be some minor changes in diagram, and if you will connect wrongly something, then it will go boom. Of course, I checked whole manuals, and I like to start with this balancing connector. It looks like this. As you can see, one cable is black, and on our diagram over here we've got blue cable, but it means that this one blue-black cable is the ground, is battery minus. So how to find this ground on our battery? Here we got two endings, because over here batteries are connected, over here at the ending are not. And over here is plus, because over here we've got this flat part of the battery, which means it's ground. Over here, as you can see, it's not this white ring. So this is a ground. And we have to connect this black cable to the ground. Next one is 1S cable, so this is the second one, and the second one we have to connect to 3.7 volts, so to this spot. Let me show you that. Over here is ground at the top, so over here, and here we should have like 3.7 volts, 3.5 volts, because my battery got a little bit lower voltage. Next cable, so it will be the third one, we should connect to 2S. So now we have to add next cell, so it will be 3.5 volts to 3.5 volts, and we should connect to spot where we've got 7 volts, so on the other side over here. So let's check if over here will be around 7 volts. Yes, we've got 7 volts. So to this spot we have to connect this third cable. Fourth cable, so this one. Yeah, as you can see I already took it wrong cable, so always count and check every single time, couple times, if you took good cable and if you will solder to good spot. So this fourth cable we have to connect to around 10.7 volts because it's 3.7, 7 volts and 10 and a half. So it's 1S, 2S, and here will be third S. So let's check. Over here we should expect around 10 and a half volts. Yeah, 10.7 volts, and etc, etc. Fifth cable, sixth cable, you have always to add this one cell, so plus 3.5 volts in my case. Next important thing, don't hold your solder iron on the flat like this, because this battery is alive and you can do some huge short circuit. Try to hold your solder iron like 45 degrees, there will be much smaller chance that you will do some short circuit, and try to don't heat up one part for very long. Just try to place this, I forgot how to call it, for short time, and just leave it like this, because if you will hold it for too long, then cells at that spot will heat up and they can be damaged. So do like this. Now find some other spot. As you can see now I'm holding flat, but on this side, not like this where I could do some short circuit, but on this side, and I will connect the balance cable, let's say over here. Okay, it's enough. As you can see, super easy. If you will buy this nickel strip with really pure nickel, then it will be super easy to solder extra cables to it. As you can see, super easy. So I bought some good quality. I will leave links in description. Nice. As you can see, I am super careful. I did many times some short circuit because I was a newbie. I'm quite sure that you will also do some short circuit, but I hope that you will survive in your battery pack these short circuits. And now let's do the same for the other side. Let's do it a little bit more safer. Okay, so I put the cables on the other side, so also I will want to solder the cables on this side. Easy, bros. Easy. But be careful, this is not a joke. Always take your time before you start doing something like this, because you can really mess up your whole house if there will be some short circuit. I will place BMS like this, so over here. Now I have to cut these cables to be like at that spot. Yep, how it was. It was like this. Okay, so let's cut the cable over here. The next one, let's cut like over here. Let's start with the ground, so with this cable. Now let's start with, now let's add 2S, and 2S it will be the third cable, so 1, 2, 3. So this one. Okay. Now from the other side we have to put this cable through this spot. No worries, as you can see connector is not connected, So nothing bad will happen if you will touch any other part of this battery pack. That's why connect BMS only at the end. Ow, it was hot, too hot, got the hand. Okay, cool. Now it's time for the third one, so this one will go under. Okay. Fifth one, or how to say it, on the top. Sixth one at the bottom. Seventh one top, eighth one at the bottom. Ninth one on the top. 10 at the bottom. Oh, come on. Nice. So like I said, there will be no short circuit if you will do it, because connector is not connected to anything, so no worries. Even if you will touch two parts of the BMS even with one hand, then nothing will happen, because resistance of your skin, of your body, is too big to pass through the energy, to the voltage. If the voltage will be higher, then I have no idea, maybe like 100 volts, then you can feel something in your hand, but the most dangerous is AC, not DC. AC, even at I think 10 volts, 100 milliamps, can fuck up your hand. So yeah. And this last one is going to the plus, so over here. Looks like it's done. Pretty clean build, isn't it? Now we have to clean up our place of work. Okay. And now the question is how to check if we connected all the cables in good order. So we have to use multimeter and this connector. Like I said, every single next connection should be plus 3.5 volts, or depends what voltage got your cells. And we have to start with this ground. Well, let's try to do something like this. And again, be careful, because this battery is alive. Don't do any short circuit, be smart. So over here we should expect around 35 volts. As you can see, it's okay. And now we have to check. Second cell will be over here around 3.5 volts. First cell plus 3.5 volts, 7 volts, 10 volts, 14 volts, etc, etc. 21, 25, yeah, 17, 21, 28, 32, and 35. This is how you check if you connected the balance connector in good order. Super easy. Now we have to connect BMS. So let's start with this B minus. This is battery ground. So we have to start not over here because it's plus, as you can see this white ring, but from this side. This is battery minus because it's flat. So we have to do something like this. Now I will check if this black thing on BMS is conducting any kind of energy or voltage. No, it's not, but I think this one will. Also not. What the hell? Nice. As you can see, I added duct tape at the top because over here I've got BMS and I don't want to do any short circuit in the future. Now, before you connect this balancing connector to BMS, in manuals you can find info that at first you have to connect this ground to BMS, so this big blue cable with battery minus. Okay, and now is moment of truth. I literally didn't connect this balancer port before, so everything can happen. Hopefully nothing bad will happen. So let's find out. Black is over here, so you can see the minus, and here is black cable. So it looks like it's working, so I am really happy. Now I will add double tape between this duct tape and BMS, and actually it's pretty done. We can after it use some huge shrink tube, and battery is almost done. Oh god damn it, now you're telling me, bros, I forgot to add plus cable. God damn it, I will add it over here. So battery input output looks like this. And I added XT60 connector. Now it's time to secure for battery pack by simple shrink tube. Place it inside. Don't damage any cables. Oh shit, this battery pack is quite heavy. Okay, let's check inside. Looks okay. Actually, it looks perfect. And I'm using this heat gun. I think this is the best one because you can easily control temperature, speed of the fan, and it's, as you can see, even with LCD screen. It's called whatever you can see over here, 8858, links in description. Yeah, and literally I think this is the best one. So let's try like maybe 200 degrees. Okay. It's working. It's working. Maybe a little bit more. Let's try like 240. It was before. I love this heat gun. It's really decent. And the price like $20. We can also increase the speed of the fan and decrease. Always start from the middle part of your battery pack, and from the middle go to the sides, because at first you have to go around from the middle. Check this one out, bros, it's done. As you notice, it was quite easy actually, but like I said, it's really dangerous to make by yourself battery pack. Always check everything couple times before you do any kind of move, because this is energy. One small mistake, couple nanoseconds, and it's going boom. Of course, I know, no proof, no glory. Is it working? Let's check. Yeah, we've got 35.5 volts, so it's working. If you have any questions, just leave it in comment section. I will back to you and try to help. So if you like this episode, hit like and subscribe. See you in next one.